Yo, what's up guys, Shorty here. I just thought I would bring a quick little video in terms of a little couple of tips in terms of positioning that you can do. This has been requested quite a few times, and though the next video on positioning will be quite long in terms of more routes and flanks that you can do, I thought I would kind of make an intro video into that and a few little tips and tricks that you can do to get started right away to just improve it a little bit more. So I thought I'd go on a familiar map for all. Armage, well, it's familiar for me, hopefully it is for you as well. It's more infantry based, so it's a lot easier to explain stuff on. So the first tip that I wanted to go over was actually a setting that some of you may not have. So you want to go into gameplay, basic, you want to go down to minimap, and you basically want to make your minimap a decent size, just so you know of where you are on the map, whether any enemies are spotted, and whereabouts enemies could be, and you just get a more overall bird's eye view of the map and where it is. You can copy mine or you can make your own, just experimenting with these, but it is a good tip to actually figure out where you are on the map on the bottom left. It does help quite a bit, and it just, yeah, like I said, it helps you understand if there's enemies around you and where your teammates are at all times, basically. Now, the second tip I wanted to go over is quite simple. It sounds simple, but sometimes it's a lot easier said than done. That is knowing where your first piece of cover is. So, for example, if you run out of here, you need to know, you want an idea of where you want to go. So for me, it would be here.
Have a look here.
So if I run out here, that's my first piece of cover that I can run to head glitch this, to lean it, to something. And then if you run from here, you need to know where you want to go and where your first piece of cover is. So it's either here,
Danger, over
in this
there.
corner here to lean this, or it's this wall, but then you're exposed obviously here, and that brings on another topic of angles and where to find these and where to peek them, but that's a whole nother video within itself. Or from here. So that works generally on every map, so and something that you should be trying to think about when you run out into the open or you challenge your gunfight. You want to know where the first piece of cover that you can hide or take cover is, basically. And that moves on to the second point that I wanted to go over, and that is the entrance and exit route of a gunfight. So if you run out here and you find a guy here and you gunfight with him, you need to know where you want to go after that. So obviously my entrance to the gunfight is here, and then either my exit is back where I came from, or into this piece of cover, and that obviously goes back to the first point of knowing where your first piece of cover is. It is a lot to think about when you're in a gunfight, but the more and more you think about it and practice it and develop it, the more and more it'll just become natural to you, and you'll just do it without even thinking, basically. So there are multiple examples of that. I'll run through one more now. So it's similar to like kind of running into a building. Your entrance point obviously is the door, and let's say you kill someone in this corner, you reload. Your exit point is either the door, the window, this window here, or this door here as well. And that's something. Obviously there's no cover in here, so that's just generally knowing where your cover is just out of the building, or sitting maybe in a corner reloading, looking at your minimap, seeing where your teammates are, and then adjusting from there. And that's something I could go over more in depth if I go over maps at some point. But another thing you can do, and it's quite simple, is just audio and visual cues. Audio cues, more importantly, stuff like footsteps, gunshots, gunfire, stuff like that, is generally more easily readable than visual cues. Visual cues tend to be like looking at your minimap, spotting people, seeing if people are spotted, whether the smoke's down, like gun traces from snipers, gun glint, stuff like that. And then obviously the last point is just learning angles and where to peek, but like I said, that is a whole different video within itself. But let me know if you want to see quite a few angles on a few maps that maybe you want to learn. Let me know if you want to see that in the comment. If you have any questions on the 3 or 4 points that I provided to you today, or if you want a more in-depth tip on it, maybe in the comments, let me know. But I appreciate your view. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.